Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Purple Belt 101. Purple Belt is a very high level belt. In this video, we'll be going over techniques, certain kinds of mindset you should be having, competition experiences, and Professor Kavika and my personal experiences at Purple Belt.
So congratulations, you received your Purple Belt. First, we're gonna start off with game and technique. Now, like Coach Todd said, a Purple Belt is a very high level. And at this stage of your game and your technique, you have already learned a bunch. Now, of course, your game will be changing as the belt levels go on, but as a Purple Belt, you pretty much have what you like to do, your favorite techniques you like to execute, your favorite submissions you like to go for. At this stage, you should be chaining together. Not like a blue belt was just like a couple techniques. At this stage, you should be chaining together a bunch of techniques. Whether it's guard, passing, takedowns, you're chaining things together and multiple things together, like 4 or 5 techniques.
Like Professor Kavika was saying, at Purple Belt, there's no submissions that are really added in. Like at Blue Belt, you learn wrist locks and ankle locks. Those are new to you. By now, those are kind of normal. So you should be adding in or learning how to chain your moves together. I feel like Purple Belt, it gets very complex and it gets kind of deep in a way when you're rolling. So you're getting very, very high level at Purple Belt. Not saying that you won't make mistakes and not saying not to try new things, but your game gets very elaborate at Purple Belt. As a Purple Belt, I feel that the mindset doesn't really change, it just adds. So from white, blue, all the stuff we talked at White Belt 101, Blue Belt 101, don't put too much pressure on yourself. It adds at Purple, and it becomes almost flustering at times because you are a higher level belt and you should know. And sometimes not knowing the answer makes it frustrating, especially because the lower belts are gonna ask you for instruction too because you are a Purple Belt. The other thing with your mindset is at this point in your career, you know enough jiu-jitsu and you know what your opponent can and can't do to you. It's about when you run into those roadblocks, you're looking at the entire picture. So I'll give you a good example. When I spar, sometimes when I was a Purple Belt, I would do the same move over and over and over again and I'd get the same result. And I'd get frustrated because that was my go-to move. Professor Kavika, in fact, had to look from the outside perspective and tell me, you know what, like you're approaching this the same way and your lack of being open-mindedness to new techniques and stuff is the reason why you're not advancing at your Purple Belt. So at Purple Belt, being open-minded also is like a big advantage. And being able to look and almost dissect your rounds.
As a Purple Belt, you want to be well-rounded. You're coming from Blue Belt, now you're Purple Belt, you have a bunch of techniques, you know, from top, bottom, and sweeps, passes, submissions. Now, this is where you need to put together all of these, like I said earlier. Also, this is your time to develop a balance between your game. Sometimes when you're in the beginning, some people become point fighters. So they just look for sweeps or just to score points. Some people in the beginning move towards submissions. So they do a lot of submissions, but they don't pay attention to the points. I feel as Purple Belt, you need to be well-rounded in all of this. You need to be like a good point fighter and a good submissions fighter. And learning this through your Purple Belt will prepare you for the next belt levels above, which they are the next belt levels, brown belt and black belt, they are well-rounded.
So a lot of my personal experience at Purple Belt, or the highlights of my Purple Belt would be, I really defined my jiu-jitsu. Like Professor Kavika was saying, a lot of it is chaining stuff together. So my ability to consistently attack. I also learned how to balance between passing and guard. As a blue belt, I felt like I was a heavy guard player, but my passing lacked a lot. By the end of my Purple Belt career, I felt like I was much more well-rounded. The last thing was leg locks. So as I got heavier or later into my Purple Belt career, I started to learn leg locks. And my best advice for you upper level Purple Belts is don't give up. Keep learning it, keep trying it, because eventually you're gonna get your brown belt and you're gonna be a white belt at leg locks. Try it out. Don't get discouraged because you're gonna run into a lot of like roadblocks where it's like, I don't believe I left my legs out that much, and you're gonna realize a lot of stuff, but keep at it.
In my jiu-jitsu journey, Purple Belt was the most difficult belt level. I moved to California as a fresh purple belt, and I was introduced to very high level jiu-jitsu. Now, within this, I learned how to, not only I extended my game, but I learned how to be strategic in competition because I love competing. So that was an aspect that I had to learn as a purple belt in studying competition and learning how to be strategic. Once you start getting high level, you can't just go out there and just fight. You need to understand everything that's going on around you and what you're capable of and when to do it and when not to do it and how to control your pace. So these are the things I learned while I was in California. I competed a lot in California and I trained with one of the best in the world. So this was a very good learning curve for me. And I learned a lot as a purple belt. And to this day, I still keep a lot of those values that I learned as a purple belt. Thank you guys for watching Purple Belt 101. We hope we could help you in any way. Now remember, if you're a fresh purple or getting ready to move on to brown belt, never stop learning. Always keep doing your best. And remember, in purple belt, try to put everything together and be well-rounded.
Don't skip warm-ups.